Yo, 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 yo. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yo, 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 yo. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. I hope Wednesday has met you well.
Beautiful
We're
evening.
good. Yes, yes. Oh, you got to move the microphone up a little bit.
Yeah.
Scoot, you got to scoot the whole thing up, baby. Yeah, yeah, my bad. You could,
I appreciate that, sir.
hey. Just the one tonight. Yes. Okay. Okay, y'all, we got the remix going on. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Okay, we back. We back on track. Like Furious Styles said, what a beautiful evening.
Oh yeah.
I hope the week has met you well. I hope that everything is going in order and understanding what this month brings. This month brings about completeness. It's the number 7.
Seven.
Um, so if you look at the topic or the like theme of the month is having complete balance of spirituality and practicality,
Practicality.
and that's balance, that's duality, that's what keeps us centered a certain way to be able to deal with in the sense of the flesh and the spiritual,
Spiritual.
because your flesh is what you live daily, the
Uh-huh.
spiritual is what you live daily. They're two conflicting things, so you have to have the balance.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm pushing this month. So I thought it was so awesome for you to be a guest on T Fields Powered by Virginia Radio. We understand network, my bad.
Oh yeah.
Don't minimize it, maximize it.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, but let me give them a proper introduction.
Oh, that was
So
beautiful though. Like
okay.
that was good already. I
Okay,
mean, I ain't gonna
okay.
stop you though. Yeah.
Well, he is just a phenomenal king here. He does so many things. He has so many titles and accolades and attributions to society, to the community, to his own household. Just to the world at large. We're not even going to limit it again, not minimizing, we're maximizing. So, we're understanding that is no other than the Furious Styles.
Various. Various. Furious. Various. Multiple style.
Ow, talk to the people then.
So, those
Okay.
that, whether you have been following me or if this is your first time, Furious Styles, that's a Boys in the Hood relation. Definitely give homage to the OGs. I kind
Come
of
on.
take that moniker from there, especially with the role that Lawrence Fishburne played in that movie, how he was able to be a guru to the hood.
Come on.
And the first time I was here, I was talking to Loud about that and kind of in retrospect seeing how my first year in teaching went, how I, for the most part, fulfilled that this year, for myself, especially in the reaction that I've had from my students after they've been promoted. They passed their SOLs. I went from a 19% pass rate my first semester to a 53% pass rate
That's super dope.
going to
That's super
second
dope.
semester. So,
Okay, hold on. Excuse me. Move the mic up.
oh,
Gotta
yeah,
be able to hear
yeah.
me. Excuse me,
My
y'all.
bad, y'all.
No, it's not your bad. It's not bad. Hey, for not doing you right. There you go. My bad. Okay.
Yeah,
Now we
so
good,
it's
y'all.
been a beautiful thing to see them respond to me and all of the rawness. They've seen me upset. They've seen me for the most part depressed at times. They've seen me happy, and to kind of see myself through their eyes is something that you have to experience. So it's been a beautiful thing, especially living out what Furious Styles means, just to me personally.
Okay, so when you hit on being a teacher, let's dive into that a little bit more. So, where do you teach, and what subject do you teach?
Okay, I am a Kings Fork Middle in Suffolk. I am a seventh grade civics teacher.
Okay, okay,
History,
big up to the
history.
male teachers. Woo-hoo.
Man,
For real,
it's
that's
been
real dope.
something else too. Like it's been when I say learning, like they taught me. And they
Most
taught
definitely.
me as much as I was able to put into it. They really taught me. So it's not for the faint at heart. It's something you definitely have to be called to do.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you'll really get burnt out. And not that you can't get burnt out now, but the fact that I know why I'm doing it, I understand the purpose and why I'm doing it. I'm able to take that day off. I'm able to take the vacation, get the mind right, and come back. Whereas some people, and it really happened, it's like day one or two, and then boom, you don't see them no more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's the reality,
It's not a
as
place
it
to just go get a
pertains.
check.
Yeah.
Respect. You do got. You gotta have a heart
Right.
and a passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
You do. I agree with that one,
Yeah.
and especially if not never before, definitely now, but always, but definitely now. So I definitely get it.
The generations is different.
Yeah.
Like,
And the requirements are different. The verbiage is different. The body language is different. The expectations are different. School systems
mm-hmm.
are different. I know you know that.
Yeah.
Like school systems are way different. The whole agenda of the school is not really to educate the children. It's to make sure that it looks right on paper.
And that's the weird part, and I guess where I make that splinter,
Okay.
as some would call it, or a term that I kind of learned, while teaching. But being able to be the one that's in there that's trying to, educate as well, and it drove some of my students crazy at first because they're like, "Yo, why are you spending this much time talking, about this?" And then I had them start to come around, and for them to be like, "Man, Mr. Green was the best teacher that we had the whole year." It was cool to see how the ship had turned, and then to see again how they responded as it pertained to academics and then what they want to do. One of my students actually won a letter contest as if he was the mayor. And one
Okay.
of my students won it, and one of my other students wants to take up public speaking, and he recited one of his poems in front of the class. So to be able to bring that
That's
out of the
awesome.
students,
That's super awesome.
regardless of the setting,
Come on.
what it is. And I think that kind of goes back to the statement I had at first: the person that's going into the school, why do you want to be in there? Because if it is just to mark off the check, you're going to, it's not going to work because them students are humans.
Yeah.
The students are humans, and I think that's one thing I think I bring to the table is understanding that they are humans just as well as I am. And I was once a seventh grader.
Come on, talk.
And I remember how crazy it was being in the seventh grade.
Yeah.
So.
Because it was wild then, too.
Man.
It was probably wilder because we fought more.
I'm going to be honest. I broke up so many fights this year.
Oh, really?
So many male versus woman fights.
Oh, domestic.
Like
y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for the domestic episodes coming up in October, I believe. Yeah, because that is real.
Check on your kids.
Yes.
Parents, especially those that got, kids middle school age. It's like that.
Yeah.
And that's just keeping it a buck with you. That's keeping it real. So.
And that is true though. And that's crazy because when you think back, when I think back, going to Craddock Middle, I had associates that were in domestic violence relationships already. And so that's real.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
So it was crazy walking in there and seeing it. And I had a veteran teacher kind of closer to the end of the year asked me, "Mr. Green, this being your first year, how was it?" I say, well, going through this process, it really took the romanticized thoughts that I had about teaching out, and it kind of put me in reality. And I could say it was a blessing. The reason I say it was a blessing because at the beginning of the year, I was somewhat treating the students like they were the movie characters that I kind of grew up watching.
Okay.
So my favorite, teacher movie is Lean on Me.
Okay.
So, I already know who's Sam's, I already know who's who. I know who's Romeo from the Steve Harvey show. Like, I kind of had the images played out. And although they had very pivotal points in inspiring me to teach, reality kind of set in. And it's like, yo, these are real humans. And they're dealing with real life situations. They're dealing with drugs. I remember the drug pandemic in middle school when I was in middle school. But now, wow. And that's the realest thing I could say, things actually going around in the school. And it's legit like that. The school resource officers having to do the random searches and finding things. Like, it's like that now. So that's why I say, parents, holla at your kids.
Yeah, man. Talk to them. Look in their book bags.
It's just like they're just like us. They're just 12, but they're just like us. They have access to what we have access to. So it's like that.
Yeah, most definitely. It's most definitely like that. That's dope. That's ultra dope. Listen to them, y'all. Teachers, parents, students, listen. Dopeness.
But also be proud. Be proud of your kids too.
Yes, most definitely.
They do draw to certain teachers, instructors, people of influence. And we do have an ability, just based on the relationship. And it's weird because it's like with my kids. My kids, they sometimes stray away. Like there's certain things that I know that they won't do, whereas they'll have mentors. So my daughter, she's in tumbling, and she's excellent at it.
Okay.
She has an instructor, and they're excellent at what they do. And it's like not that I couldn't bring that out, but the relationship that she's able to have with the older people.
Yeah.
Listen to us. Listen to the teachers, especially ones that are actually there, ones that are actually present.
Most definitely.
Because we do mean well, and we see a side that you may not
see. Exactly.
We see them when they're not around you.
Yeah, a different level of transparency of who they are. Most definitely. Most definitely.
Then, and it's not even to put anything out, but they also relay information as well. So, there are things that we're privy to know that we would love to, communicate, at least in a safe way. But again, that takes, that relationship between the parent and the teacher. So parents definitely be involved. That's what it boils down to, be involved.
Be involved in everything in your children's life, everything. That is really key. Dope. That's dope. So we're gonna tie in when you're doing the teaching. We're gonna tie that into your mentorship or your mentoring that you do as well.
Yes. I've been a mentor, I can say strangely. I've been a mentor since I was 17 years old.
Okay.
I'm 32 now. So like I've always in a way been involved in mentorship or teaching of students. I've been a coach. So at times my mentorship, I've worked with certain students and been able to work with them on a more personal level. I was a part of a youth organization called Young Life for some time, and that's kind of the charisma that y'all see. That's where that was birthed, being able to create characters.
Okay.
I used to come up with characters and act them out, but even in that, I had students that I mentored and kind of showed them the ropes and did things like that. I'm a CDL truck driver. I was able to mentor somebody and teach them how to get their CDL.
Okay.
So mentorship has something that I've just always been involved in, and I have an opportunity now through the Hampton Roads Committee of 200 plus men to be a mentor, in that regard. And more closely, I'm a part of the Economic Advancement Committee.
Okay.
Of that branch of the organization.
Economic.
Everybody that's in the organization has like a subgroup that they work with. So I'm a part of that, as well as the mentorship. But then going into the school, having ideas now, especially after COVID, they're starting to introduce extracurricular activities again, which is going to be a blessing.
Yes, most definitely will be.
So just the idea is kind of in that, what we're being able to do, being able to bring a male mentorship to the school. I've kind of gone through a transition, as you see, even with the attire. I'm wearing, the blazers, the dress pants, and my students took notice to it. At the beginning of the year, I was dressing more kind of laid back, jeans. It was cold. I had the hoodie on. It was a stylish hoodie, but there was kind of a switch that I had, and it was actually at the 200 plus men banquet. Gentleman up there, he was talking about how your suit, that's your uniform as you go out. And what's weird is I kind of forgot what I had already knew.
Come on now.
I found a picture from about 13 years ago, and I had the pocket watch. Like, I'd say I was the flyest.
Come on now.
I had probably,
Style.
It was very stylish at the time, and I went through a period of really just finding myself. I wouldn't even say just a down period, but just finding who I am, especially as an adult. Getting to 30 and looking back at your 20s, you kind of see where you have grown.
Yes, most definitely.
And I've reached a point where it's like I kind of found what I was looking for, at least in that sense.
Okay.
So to kind of be where I am now, and now to be in a point where I can represent that.
Come on.
To see how my students took to it, I feel it's only right to be able to provide that opportunity. Teach them how to tie a tie.
Yeah.
Bow tie.
Yeah.
There's some of my students probably never really have an opportunity to wear a suit.
Yeah.
So I want to seize the moment. Who knows? I may never get the opportunity again. If it makes sense. So just being aware of the gift and the ability that I have, but then also the opportunities that surround me.
Most definitely. Most definitely. That's super dope. Big shout out to you for that. Ooh, male mentorship is so dope. And I'm just so elated to see a lot of men stepping up into that position. Like, heavily. Like, it's always been men that have done it, but really heavily in all age ranges and all genres of life, stepping up. That's super dope for the men. So shout out again for the men and male mentors in whatever way that you mentor. That's super dope. You are necessary, you are needed in everyone's lives. It's for real.
And honestly, you are needed.
Needed.
Gentlemen, fellas, if you
Needed.
are out there and you're looking for that, avenue, that's what a lot of people are missing. Like, they don't know where to go to do it. That is a ripe place to go, especially if you're looking for a community-based network. It's also good for your network as well. So you may find yourself getting a mentor, even as a 30-year-old. You may come across somebody 40, 50 years old that could put you onto something. So it goes
or
both ways.
Or even someone younger.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Out of the mouth of babes. Listen, just like you said, when you were in the schools, you were learning things from the children as well as you were teaching them. It's always something they can teach us because they're living in a different time. So if that's only about their time that they can teach us, is something. And then sometimes a lot of these children, that's why I love this generation. A lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about this generation, but I love this generation because they're very innovative. Very. Like, they are doing things that we weren't even thinking about doing at their ages. They have took hustling to another level. You get what I'm saying? Like, they are entrepreneurs of big major things. They understand the assignment. Like, so I feel that it's always something to be learned. And I think just interactions, period, even if you can learn humbleness, because some of these children's stories will just amaze you, like, and the way that they are able to just carry it at their age with all that on their shoulders. Like, it makes you humble as a person, as an adult. When you look at yourself, it makes you be like, I'm not going to complain. Like, sometimes I just feel like just seize, like you said, seize any moment. I always say that, though, seize any moment to have a conversation and build with them or whatever, because you, like you said, you never know. And sometimes it be the small things.
It do.
You don't know how impactful small things are to people's lives who lives is in disarray or whatever. Like, they just may need somebody to know that somebody even sees them. See, it could be something small as that. Like, I think that's dope. I just want to say that's so dope. I just want to say that's just so dope because it's really very vital and important. Very important. Very important.
You gotta see your worth.
Hi, come on, Dad. Talk about it. Talk about
see
it.
Your worth. My wife says you are enough.
Yeah, she sure does. Big shout out.
And once you realize that, you're able to really kind of pour into others, as well, to kind of give them that. I think it's ironic that I'm a 7th grade teacher. Reason being, that was the most traumatic year that I could recall in school. So being able to kind of almost relive it, but then kind of do it from this angle. Another thing, maturity, to be able to see myself at this level, it's necessary. You have to be mature. You have to be just at a certain level to really grasp the reality of life. And it's really no getting around it. It's kind of one of those life lessons. Yeah. And if you don't get it, trust me, it's coming.
Yeah. You got to be mature, open, and honest.
Yeah. Straight up.
Mature, open, and honest. I think those 3 are very significant in what you're saying. Being able to embody the blessing, of something that you're kind of looking out at. Because it's already happened. So now you're looking out at it, but you're able to relive it. Like, yeah, I think you just got to, when it comes to you, that's the only way we can evolve and even be mature. Because you got to grow to be mature. You got to. That's why I say again with age, like, they are man-made accolades to people because we are spirits, we are souls and vessels. So yeah, my vessel may have only aged to this whatever numerical number. However, how is really my soul? That's why people say, "Oh, you wise for your age, you beyond your years." That's what they mean by that. Because it's some of these people that I just don't know. Like, I think they've been here before.
Yeah.
They have.
Yeah,
I really do. I think I've been here before. I love, you know how they say deja vu? I think all of our... Because... Oh, no, man, that's a deep... I don't want to go. I don't know if I want to do that. Because, nobody goes to heaven or hell. We're in a purgatory state, right? In the sense of that, because you can't go to heaven or hell until he comes back. In my belief, so if you're in a purgatory state, that's just a lot of spirits just sitting there, and they sit there for a long time because it's been a long time since he came. So I don't know. I just feel like people just like kind of you get like do overs, not really do overs, but do overs. Like you live in a life that you either appreciate it, or if you didn't appreciate it, you live in a worse or the same life until you get it right. I think like that's why we had deja vu's and stuff like that. Oh, talking about that. Hold on, a little off topic. We're gonna get back on topic.
Yeah.
What talk about the CERN? I know you got something to say about it. Talk about it.
So this is what I'll say. The
Come
reason being, because I'm not going to speak or spew too much, because I haven't really done a lot of
Okay.
research on it.
I can respect that.
There was a time I was studying the Hebrew Israelite culture
Okay.
that a lot of talk was going on with that, but that was like 2016. So I mean, it was some time ago. So the information that I have kind of dates back to that. So hearing about it and seeing it to me is no surprise. But as far as the ins and outs and intricate details, I haven't really put any energy into it, really going into it. Yeah.
Respect. I just feel like we always unveil certain truths and like an aftermath. So it's nothing new because we wouldn't know about it if it was just something fresh. It's something old. They've been had these little portals and stuff. That's why the ozone layer messed up. Because well, that's a whole nother thing. But because they break in the atmosphere every time they break in the atmosphere because we can't go out of the atmosphere really. Like we can't. That's the only way they can travel is going like they're going. I mean, it's just the truth. I mean, and I don't want to. Well, I ain't gonna say it's the truth because I don't know. I haven't been there. But just based on all the knowledge that I've got spiritually, physically, practically, manly, earthly, whatever, all that knowledge, like it don't really make sense. They don't really have real facts to prove me otherwise. Like because you can go into the atmosphere and take pictures, that doesn't mean that you can go outward. Yeah. Like so, I don't know. So I feel whatever ways about that.
This is what I say. The study, at least even the, I guess, inquiring, the desire to know what it is not a new desire.
True.
You could go back to Egypt, Kemet. Those who don't know, the pyramids at one point was like covered in limestone. And based on the time of the year, based on when the sun hit the limestone, things happen. And over time, tomb raiders, they chipped away, so on and so forth. Look all that stuff up. But I say all of that, the knowledge of knowing what's out there and creating portals. There's a city in Arizona, me and my wife, we actually went there, and they're known for their portals, energy portals. So it's not nothing new. It's almost like Jedi mind tricks. If you look at Star Wars, some people use it for good, some people use it for bad, based on their knowledge, based on the reason that they're going into it. So yeah, I think not only is it nothing new, but as time goes on, you're going to see other people come up with different things that try to top what this particular thing is.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. They're doing a lot now anyway though. But tying all of what the people are doing everywhere, you are also everywhere as well with your artistry. I've been seeing you pumping your music. I've been seeing you on a lot of at a lot of events, on a lot of different stages. So tell the people a little bit more about Phurious Stiles in the sense of being an artist.
So Phurious Stiles. Shout out to G Joint Productions. That is the manifestation of what I do musically.
Okay.
It kind of dates back to, I guess, the idea of wanting to create something for the people to utilize safely.
Okay.
I have been blessed to come across engineers, studios, producers, videographers, artists, and actually built a network. And it's been a cool thing to really see manifest and come together.
Okay.
So it's not just myself. You know, my wife, she actually put together the album art for my first project. And then if you go to the second album, she's Luna, the voice on the It Feels Good song.
Okay, Luna.
So she sounds wonderful, and which she knows, but I'm always tell her that.
As you should.
It's whatever music, L100. That's my engineer. He also records my music. No one can capture the sound the way that he does.
Okay.
Gellert, he is a producer. I love that man. He has a sound. He's like my alchemist. Those that don't know, the infamous Mobb Deep is my favorite group
Okay.
of all
Okay.
time.
Okay.
And Prodigy, rest in peace. He
Rest
worked
in
with
peace.
the Alchemist. They worked hand in hand, and just in my mind, that's how Gellert is to my sound. So that's how we work together. 360 Arts and Productions. Those are my videographers.
Okay.
You know, so Katie the Queen, that's the first artist that signed to G Joint Productions. She's working on the EP.
Katie the Queen, baby.
And she has a single out, Dance, right now. So, like I say, it's a group effort. It's not just myself. And it's been a wonderful ride so far. And I just can't wait to see what else is out there. You know, I'm learning things along the way that I never thought I would learn, never thought I would need to learn.
Okay.
But it's like I'd much rather learn it now.
Right.
Than, 5-10 years from now, and it's like, man, everything just stops because it's just something that could have been handled in these early stages.
Yes, most definitely.
So it's like a soul food meal cooking and not a microwave thing. Just something I'm taking my time with and enjoying the process as it's coming along.
Y'all heard him taking his time, enjoying the process. That is waiting patiently, enjoying the process with joy.
Got to. That's
you hear me? Even when it
part.
don't look right on the broken piece, look, y'all, I'm telling y'all, this is the completion of all of what we've been going through. If you have been diligent in what you've been diligent in, this is the completion of all of some things and the preparation for the beginning of some things. Mm-hmm. I just believe that.
Yeah.
And that's just like, and that's so dope that you said that, because we got to be mindful that we can't be afraid to just start, because even if you fail over something you were supposed to learn, you put yourself out there, you network, people know that you about it, so you're going to try again, you're going to do better, or you're going to try something else, and it's going to work. Like, we got to put ourselves out there knowing our worth, knowing our value, monetizing certain things, the things that need to be monetized, you know what I'm saying? And not feeling bad about it.
You can't, it's a mind, that piece is definitely a mindset of understanding your worth. And that's what a lot of us
talk about it,
deal with and have problems with. I wouldn't even say problems, but coming from our backgrounds and kind of how we were raised, and then to be given some of the opportunities, it's like we just want to be able to, again, put ourselves out there. And then at some point, you just have to switch and like, man, if I don't take it serious, nobody else will.
Exactly.
If I don't see the value, if I don't see myself as black tie a fair value, then how am I going to expect, the status or the lifestyle or just the mindset of black tie fair charisma or character to come forth?
Come on, talk about it.
You'll continue to dumb yourself down to the level that you see yourself.
Yeah. Gotta aspire.
And it's very hard to do, because then you start to peel back the layers, and it's like, man,
talk about it.
Like, how far back does this go?
Uh-huh.
But the beauty is, at least you're aware that you're on the journey, because the goal is the end.
Come on now.
So if you're so fixated on the goal, you'll miss everything in between, and it's like you get to the end, and it's like
it's not satisfying.
Like,
it was all for nothing. Yeah, that's why you gotta enjoy it. It's the whole ride. You gotta enjoy the ride to get there. Like, I get it now. My grandma used to always say that, just enjoy the ride. My mom used to always say, just enjoy the ride. When you young, you be like, I'm trying to hear this is forever. But I get it now. Because once we get there, the trip starts. And that's one day till it's closer for us to leave. So if you just enjoy the ride to get there, when you get there, you're going to enjoy yourself. And then you're going to continue to enjoy yourself. And then when it's time to go, okay, just enjoy it. Like, and it's hard. Again, like we were talking about earlier, we all understand and know what we're supposed to do, really. It's just about application, applying it to your life, doing it, moving in that way, that manner, receiving it, being it. Like, people ask me a lot of times, are you fearful? Damn, I don't fearful about a lot of things. However, however, is that gonna stop me? Because when you hit rock bottom, you ain't scared.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you may be fearful of failing again, or fearful of whatever your thing may be, your hiccup, your glitch, or whatever. But I just, what else I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
I can't fold, I can't bend, I can't stop. I gotta keep going. So regardless, I gotta put myself out there. Regardless of what I'm working through, I gotta work through it as I'm there. A lot of the times, but it's just a part about moving. And as we talk about moving into your entrepreneurship and all the things that you're doing, because you touched on it a little bit. Let's talk about that just a little bit more.
Deal. I think, and this is a great segue to end what you said.
Come on,
Walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
come on,
Fear
talk to
no
me.
evil. Now with me. That honestly is how entrepreneurship started, for myself. So 2020, my whole family contracted COVID.
Mm.
I was let go from the supplemental job that I had. So that's what birthed, realistically, G Rolling Papers.
Okay.
It was like, snap, well, what are we about to do? What am I about to do? So yeah, I have the backdrop. I've started using. My wife was like, instead of just using cannabis, like do something with it, like create something. But it also ties into kind of like, man, what are we about to do? Like the fearfulness, because I was one that was very shy of speaking one on one to people at one point. I was a merchandiser for a company at one point. And it was the hardest thing to do. What a merchandiser was, they go into the store, they talk with the store owners, get what they needed. But my particular job was strange. It was an ice cream uh, company, and I loved them dearly. Um, and it was just how the store owners and what we did, because the way we functioned was a little bit different than how other merchandisers function. So we actually fixed and repaired like the freezers that were in the store. So not only selling and taking down orders, but repairing as well. So having to go in there and talk with the store owners and having to explain to them, that was very nerve wracking at that time.
Okay. But it was birthing.
It
Okay,
was
shut
birthing,
up.
and then being able to go to the different stores and still able to build the relationships. Kind of along the way, there was one guy down in Virginia Beach oceanfront. He was going to help me at one point start my own, shop.
Oh,
And you still have the contact, but it's like what you're able to gain along the way.
come on now.
How I was able to bring that into G Rolling Papers. Starting off, I had the exact same mindset. No longer fearful of going into the stores and doing cold calling. Doing the ice cream was very rough doing cold calling, just finding the numbers on the store and going. But doing what you do now is like, that's really the only way you can get in. So I don't know if you've been following the reels that I do, but I'm very strategic on keeping them at 30 seconds. Like everything I do, I want to make sure it's precise. You get to the point, it's said clearly, and all the information is there within those 30 seconds. Because cold calling, they'll hang up on you in 10. So you want to make sure that your pitch is correct, is accurate. Make sure that your voice is there. Make sure that your information is there, and that you're communicating with the right person.
Correct.
So all of that kind of goes into it, knowing who your gatekeepers are.
Come on now.
Being able to, again, go in there and have that conversation, looking the part. And that's something that has taken a long time for me. Understanding or the value of what looking the part is. Some people would turn you around just of how you look.
Yeah, almost definitely.
Excellent presentation. Like, man, no one speaks as eloquently as you. You'll never hear from them again, simply because of the presentation.
Most definitely.
So just a lot of what you're seeing right now, all of those things are shaping and molding what I'm striving to do, entrepreneur-wise.
That's dope. Yeah. That's a real dope backstory. No, really it is. And it's great how it all ties in and connects, and how it all worked kind of like in an even flow, really, to transition you to where you are now.
What's funny is about a year ago, about a year ago, I was working at the YMCA, and the students there, they always thought it was weird because I had this composition notebook, and I was telling them I was ambidextrous. They really didn't know what it meant, but I say as I could write with both hands. So they would see me writing, and there was always three goals that I would write in my composition book, left and right handed, and one was to be a historian, which is some of what I'm doing as a teacher. The next was to have a record label, and then the development of my rolling paper brand. So
Come on
everything that
now.
you're seeing is kind of me just focusing on those
That's
things,
dope.
and like the public speaking, that's something that I do very well, and taking it serious is something that I need to do more of
Okay.
because I speak very well, but it's getting to the point of understanding that it is a marketable asset,
Yeah.
to my community,
Hmm.
and then putting it into positions where it can be used.
Most definitely.
So understanding the value kind of goes back to what we were saying, the value of what you bring.
Yeah. Most definitely. And talking going into that, let's go ahead and dive into the podcast.
The culture, the
The
culture
Culture
podcast,
Podcast. Come on,
um,
talk about it.
hosted on the Floor is Yours podcast. So, what's ironic is my wife actually had the very, she was invited onto a podcast on the Floor is Yours podcast. And then from there, they invited her to have a show. During the meeting, I kind of walked by and they were like, bring them back. And we kind of sat down and they were like, you two kind of are look perfect. Y'all have this look and we kind of want
Y'all
to
do.
try this out with you all. So we were like, okay. Because what's ironic, we had our own podcast maybe about 2 years ago. It's called The Greenhouse Effect. It never really took off.
Okay.
Um, which is understandable. All things are, in this divine time.
Come on, talk about it.
And there has been just life experience lived that went
Uh-huh.
from then to kind of now,
Uh-huh.
and then to see how this has manifested. Flex, the producer, he's kind of the executive behind it. Is
Okay,
kind of
Flex.
helping guide us and direct us on it. And what we're able to do is we're opening the door to the homes in our black community. So a lot of the things that are shunned and not talked about, myself and my wife, we talk about it. Even just this last week, something as, I'm not going to say it's small, but something as water safety,
Okay.
which is not something that we often talk about, but it is one of a very high leading causes of deaths in our community.
Yeah.
So we had a full discussion on water safety and what to do, in certain situations. We've talked about domestic violence. We've talked about cannabis use,
Uh-huh.
so we've talked about music and the effect that it has on our psyche.
Come
We've
on
talked
now,
about
talk about it.
mental health.
Yeah.
Um, you name it, and we're open to it. And that's kind of what we're doing on the Culture Podcast. So anything black, anything human is what we're speaking on our show.
That's super dope. So say to people where they can check the Culture Podcast
Yes.
out there, baby.
The Culture Podcast, we stream it live. Ours is every other Wednesday. So you'll see us posted on Facebook. We stream it live on Facebook, and then it's also streamed on YouTube as well on the Floor is Yours podcast.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so tell the people where they can go and get your music.
So, G Joint Productions, we are streaming on all platforms. So, I
Okay.
have an EP under the name Trey G. Trey G is a childhood name that I had.
Okay.
And that was kind of starting out in music. And what's unique is if you go back and listen to it now, it does kind of sound like a startup project based on the progression for my second project that I put out,
Okay.
which I find dope, just to be honest with you. But Trey G Souls of Vern is my first EP that I put out. It came out last year, June of last year. 8 tracks, definitely boom bap, old school 90s sound to it. That's available on all platforms.
Okay.
That has the singles Woman's Worth, Hands of Time, and Lens of
Okay.
Life. A lot of people enjoy the Hands of Time song. It's giving you homage 90s growing up in Norfolk,
Okay.
Berkeley, Ingleside, Military
Okay.
Circle Mall.
Shout out Norfolk.
So that's my first project, and then I just released last month the Rasta Master under the name Phurious Stiles.
Okay.
So the switch was inspired. If you grew up looking at Toonami Cartoon Network, you knew of MF Doom. MF Doom, rest in peace, had many aliases. He went under King Ghidra, Victor Vaughn, Mad Villain. So he released music under all types of names, and they had different styles.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of what sparked me going from Trey G to Phurious Stiles because this project is Caribbean based, inspired. It has reggae. It has like a Rasta drill type sound, so it's very very unique. Yet it also still has the boom bap '90s vibe to it. It has some
So like some
lo-fi.
little vicious.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it kind of ties into the name, Phurious Style. Like I have a lot of different things that you'll hear. It's much more mature and it's sounding like it's much diverse. You can tell I'm kind of found my voice.
Okay.
In the music. So, you can find that on all platforms as well. YouTube, Amazon, iTunes. I have hard copies as well. Camera, if y'all can see that in front, but I have hard copies. So reach out, get them signed. You can connect with me. I'm very personable, and again, these are networking tools that I utilize. So I would love to meet you. I would love to connect with you, and just share a moment. Music is something that brings us all together,
Yes,
and that's what I have experienced. Like even this,
yeah.
Loud was like the first in person podcast that I had. So kind of just opening this up. Had it not really been for music,
Yeah.
I wouldn't really be having these experiences here. So yeah.
Super dope. Super dope.
Mm-hmm.
Is it anything you would like to leave the people with or tell the people about you that they may want to know? Oh, hold on. Y'all could call in at 757-964-9367. 757-964-9367. Y'all can call us, call him, talk to him.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said he gonna give y'all some time to pick his brain. Y'all got about 15 minutes to call and pick his brains. Oh no, maybe about 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Definitely
so.
call. Definitely call. I kind of gotten a nickname at my school as the guru.
Okay, I can see that.
And it's weird how all of my students, they just kind of flock to me. And when I say it's a diverse array and group of students and just people, because even the teachers, and I mean, I just have people and I just give them all types of advice. So, definitely call in. I'd love to build with you.
Hey.
One of the things that we talked about at the beginning of the show was the balance.
Come on.
And ancient Kemet, we call that ma'at. Ma'at is balance.
Yep.
It's truth. It's justice. And where I want to go with that, regardless of your look or your outlook or how you see or your perception in life, you kind of come down to the basics of we're all trying to find that balance.
Come on, that's
and
right.
And what it is that we're doing.
That's facts.
Again, you're dealing with your physical, you're dealing with your spiritual. Understand all those things require work in order to get done. Spirituality, those that don't know, my wife thinks it's funny, like not that I've created my own religion, but I've been immersed in so many different religions and cultures that there's pieces of truth that I've taken from all of them. Rastafari, Hebrew, Israelite, Kemet, Christianity. I was a licensed and ordained minister for about 6 years.
Okay.
From 20 going on to 25, 26. So when I say I have a diverse, background of just different truths that I deem necessary, I just employ that to everyone. Do you utilize your life experiences to find balance, because none of it was on accident.
And it's not coincidental that it's 12 tribes. Come on now. It's no coincidence, like the 12 disciples. It's no coincidence. They all are synopsis. It was just, you got to think, when they all got separated, they all went their own ways, and that's how they came about. That's why they embody similarities. It's just a different, either it's a different Messiah or a different way in which they do it, but it embodies the same thing. So I get it. Because my father's a Buddhist, so
Peace.
Yeah, I get it.
When you think about, like you say, the 12 disciples, and then you add Christ himself, you got 13. I have 13 locks.
Hey.
Like all of that, this symbolism, and that's going to be symbolic, even going forward. But understand it all kind of plays into and then understand your roots, where you come from. And a lot of us won't have the opportunity to know, but do what you can, because there's going to be a part that's always going to be in you that's going to be seeking. It's going to be a part that's going to be looking, and you're either going to try to extinguish it, or you're going to go ahead and fulfill the calling because that's what it is. A lot of people deny the calling because it hurts.
True. I can see that. I can see that.
Because it hurts. It's going to, again, it's going to challenge them. It's going to cause them to come out of their shell. So
Yeah,
it's like,
because you don't know how the person's gonna receive you or
yeah.
not receive. Yeah, I get it. I get that. That makes a lot of sense.
But once you realize, like you say, we all human. We all kind of deal with those things. You then eliminate it.
True.
You know, you realize, man, it was just a figment.
Yeah.
It was a mirror. It was just a smoke screen and mirrors.
True.
And I'm actually bigger than that illusion that I created.
Yeah, because most of the time it's ourselves anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are the one. It starts in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
The mindset starts in the mind. And that got a lot to do with us and our thoughts and the way we let our mind play tricks on us.
Yeah.
So you're right about that. That's funny that you said that because earlier today I was just like, yeah, when I woke up this morning, I was just like, yeah, I got to just make sure I keep my mind where none of the negative things can affect it or penetrate it. Not saying they're not going to come because I have to be realistic. They're going to come.
Mm-hmm.
But it's how that I deal with them. It makes the whole difference. So that is something that I'm making sure that I am more deliberate about and intentional about every morning as I wake, when I pray and all that, to make sure that I get my mind, make sure I put that extra shield on my mind, deliberately understanding what I'm going out to do. Because I think you can do it better when you put that deliberate action plan. Because planning is the key to success. We forget about this, and as being entrepreneurs, we must plan more and better.
Mm-hmm. You know, there's some people that up until that point didn't even know that they could separate the two, as far as in how they're thinking and realizing that they're not their thoughts. Like, you don't have to respond. There's some people, again, that had no idea. You know, they're possibly living, you know, just in that type of mental torment, and just hearing your voice, you know, just kind of at that moment, you just never know what that'll do, you know, for some people. Because I was at one point someone that was like, I am the thoughts.
I was too.
And then when you kind of have that moment and you kind of zone out of yourself, and it's like, snap, I'm not those thoughts. You know, I'm a separate entity from that. It's like, I don't have to respond this way. Hold on, I can control what I'm doing with these things. I can have certain things set up, different outlets.
Yeah.
You know, then I can release that energy, because if I'm then releasing that energy in a healthy way, it's going to stimulate, my brain's going to stimulate your pineal gland, pituitary gland, all those things affect the body.
Come on.
How you respond, you go outside, respond with the sun.
Yep, come on.
So, once you know, again, it goes back to knowing better.
Yep.
If you know better, then you can do better.
Yep, but you have to know better.
But make sure that those that already know better, be someone that's not afraid to share what you know.
Come on.
For those that are trying to do better.
Yes.
Because you have a lot of people that will figure better out and then conceal it and hold that thing, and it's like, it's mine.
Yeah. And that's selfish.
Yeah.
And that's not the whole point of it. Because but it feels good to be able to help somebody, to put somebody in the right direction, and to push somebody towards their greater. I don't know, that's rewarding feeling. Like, it feels good to see somebody else shine and win. So I guess, again, that got something to do with people's mindset too, and you're right about that. Because I guess it's the fear, but when you really truly understand that divine timing is everything. So you can't cheat your way up, and nobody can cheat you out. You're not gonna get scooted back. You're gonna be exactly where you need to be. So just enjoy it. And if people gotta go past you in the journey, be well with that. Yeah. Be well with that, because when you get there though, it's you never know. See, that's why if we really ran this thing called life with our blinders on, right, and we couldn't even do nothing but see forward, you got to put them on yourself.
You got to train.
You got to train. It's a deliberate, intentional action that you have to do daily. A lot of things people think just come. People that you may admire or whatever, they have to put daily action in to be that person that you see, to have that light that shines. Because people go through things and deal with things, but it's just about presentation. Just about presentation. It's not about putting on fronts. It's not about wearing masks. It's about, okay, yeah, I may have all of this, right? However, I got all of this, though. See, your mind is that optimistic, pessimistic. You see the cup halfway full or halfway empty. It's the same cup, the same liquid, which what we see.
Oh, yeah.
It's all in what you see. So if you really truly understand it, long as you are doing the work, it's gonna come.
It is. That's law.
Law.
That's
Come on
law.
now. Long as you keep showing up.
That's law.
Keep showing up. So,
Reciprocity.
come
As
on
you put
now.
in, it'll
Talk.
come right
Go
back to
ahead.
you.
Go ahead.
You so good.
So you gonna
You
be
read
good. Huh.
You know that's nature. So
Change your eye view. It's
Yeah.
not gonna come in the way in which you think it's supposed to come. That's where it failed. Because it didn't come the way we thought it was gonna come. We wanted a big lump sum. We wanted it all right now. But are we go back to what you say, mature enough to receive all that?
yeah.
Are we ready to be in that position with that weight? Are you ready for the no's and the responsibility? Are you ready to have to do the hard things? Are you ready for what you asking for? So you just gotta be patiently waiting with joy and expectancy, doing the work and showing up. I'm sorry, hold on. Okay, I got a little bit of time. Got 1 minute, then you gotta go. Go ahead and tell the people something up.
I love y'all. I thank y'all for giving me the opportunity, just to speak to you, and I truly desire it resonated. Reach out and connect. I'm actually working on putting together like a life coaching program. Because I'm pretty sure there's some other males that have been down and then kind of felt what I felt, and I want to be able to walk with you through it, to be able to get that liberating feeling that I feel, because I've been there, and I want to be able to connect with you. So reach out to me, and let's do this thing. That's even now self-care. Like I was telling you, Phurious got therapy right after this. So
Yes.
one free point before it costs to talk to me. I feel like one day, and not even in a boastful way, but our value is going to continue to grow, that it's going to cost to talk to us.
Come on now.
But one free thing, don't be afraid to invest in therapy.
Yes.
Get your therapist. It may save your life. Real talk.
Real talk.
So thank you for allowing me on your platform.
Thank you so much for gracing our platform with
Yeah.
all of your just royalness. He is so dope, y'all. Super, super dope. Check him out. Tell the people where to catch you at one more time.
Catch me Instagram, G Joint Productions, G Rolling Papers LLC, and then of course Facebook, G Joint Productions, G Rolling Papers LLC, and then my personal page, WL Green III. Reach out to me. I have the website. You'll find it all tagged there. So let's connect, and I would love to work with you.
Super dope, super dope.
Yes.
Well, he gotta go, y'all. So I'm gonna let him go, and then I am going to close out, you guys, because I don't want to be, y'all know, kind of long-winded. Thank you again so much for coming in.
Pleasure's all mine.
Oh, you know what, y'all? I am going to close it out. Matter of fact, because I got to get a picture with them. Look, y'all. So, look, it's been super dope chilling out here with y'all this evening. Thank y'all so much. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all chose to be here with your girl T. That means so very much to me. So, y'all stay blessed, stay up, stay sucker free. I hope y'all enjoyed. I appreciate each and every last one of you. Big shout outs to Malika TVD, which is my sponsor, to Power by Virginia Network, who powers me, and to Phurious Stiles for coming out. Thank you again, Loud, for showing up and showing out and helping me at the end of the festival. You so dope for that. Thank you so much, sir. And I thank all of you guys. I don't have any announcements for this week, so I just hope y'all keep staying blessed, staying up, and find your balance between your practicality and your spirituality. It's been super dope. Bless.